Champions podcast will to take you on a journey through the inspiring stories of educators who teach with a mission, leaving an indelible mark on their schools and the lives of their students. Subscribe now, and together, let's celebrate the educators who are shaping the future, one classroom at a time. This is the
Okay, so good morning, good evening, wherever you are watching this podcast. I'm your host, Sean. All right. So today we are very lucky because in this podcast, in this third episode of this champion podcast, I'm very grateful that we can invite someone who is quite active as a parent, that willing to do more for his school and change the community as a whole. So yeah, I would like to welcome Dr. Bashar, Muhammad Sharif, right? So he's a leader for GG Paya Rumput, and he's quite active in bringing in all the technology to schools, to the teachers, to the parents, right? So in this podcast, we are going to dive deep. But before that, to kickstart off things, right, Dr. Bashar, could you please provide our listener with a brief overview of your background and your role as a president of the Parents Teacher Association at your school?
Thank you, Sean. It's really quite honorable too for me to be here together with all of you. And okay, for my background, actually, I'm the former um, chairman of the Parents and Teacher Association for SMK Perumput Melaka in 2017 until 2021. And in addition to that, also the vice president or vice chairman of the Parents Teacher Association for Sekolah Kebangsaan Paya Rumput Melaka in 2019, 2020. Okay, based on my experience in Parents and Teacher Association as well, he helped me to work together with school administrators, mainly the headmistress and for the primary and secondary school. And beside that, also he helps me also to establish the good relationships with school's administrator. And for my background, I'm also a consultant veterinarian for my expertise in avian medicines. And in my journey in parents day associations comes through an incidental uh, joining in, because I never expect that I'm gonna get involved with these educations. And I really appreciate the moments together with Sean today that I can share together with my experience. And I'm waiting more questions that will be asked by Sean. Back to you, Sean.
All right, very good. Thank you, Dr. Bashar. So now, our listener might be curious, if you are a animal doctor, why you are slowly taking over the rice bowl of teachers? What's your even me as an host, right? I'm very curious about your motivation of doing that. As a busy doctor, what inspired you to become so deeply involved in introducing technology to your community and schools? Could you share your personal journey that led you to where you are here? Yeah, doctor.
Yeah, even though my profession is as consultant veterinarians, I also have a deep passions and interest in education as well, especially when we have children that went to the school, right? I think everyone also, as a parent, we want our children to be successful in their studies as well also in the near future. We as a parent want and promote our kids accordingly. So we just like a mole, they are the future leaders. They are the future champions. They are the future trainers. So we are the parents are really very important in much way to ensure that our kids have a very good deeds, has a very good knowledge, and have very good in their studies. Back to your question just now, what inspired me more? Can when I see that the education landscapes change almost 180% during the COVID-19. But I joined it earlier, And in addition to that also, I have actually deep passions towards ICT. During my studies, 30 years ago, in my primary school and then going to secondary schools, I believe that we never undergo this kind of psychometrics assessment, whereby today we have that psychometric assessments. Today, when my children ask me, Abba, Dad, what do you want me to do after I finish my school? I said, it's up to you, not it's up to me. It not necessarily means if I'm the veterinarian, your mother also as a veterinarian, you must become a veterinarian. So all depends on your interests and which areas that you like the most. But talking about just now regarding that, my involvement in education, because I also involved with a student from veterinary medicines. Okay, in medical schools, like human medicines are different than animal medicines. In animal medicine, you got so many species you're going to remember, right? You got to studies. It's difference in anatomical structure, difference in embryological structure, and because so many different like species also in their physiology and also anatomical structure as well. And these give a lot of challenge to the student as well of the lecturer by itself. Sean, as a teacher, we as an educator. So both of us are educators, except we are in different areas, different kinds of groups of students that going to be taught to. Okay, the challenges of us right now. So if we don't participate, we don't understand their problem, it's very difficult for us to make them excel in their studies. Then, back to the question, what inspired me? The
Yeah,
thing
but
that inspired me the most, when I've been invited back to university, to help the university to improve their numbers of failure students to become successful students. That time, I think around 10% of the student fails their final exam. So when they did ask me, then how can I help? How can you help? I said, probably the methods that are being used in the class need to be changed. Right? It's very much different that we don't want to produce students today or in the future, whereby when they see the books, they just memorize it just like a photostat machine. We're not producing a photostat machine generations. We're going to produce somebody in the near future, a good medical doctor, a good veterinarian. We have a very knowledgeable, skillful, and experienced. Of course, they won't have experience in the first day when they start working, but during the internships, during the exposure in their studies, will help them to become a very good doctor. You see, the three important things about excellent student: environment, exposure, experience. They call three E's. The three
mm,
is very much important to be understands better because the environment of the student is very, very much important. During my time, when my lecturers talk in France, and we are here jotting down all the notes, he just talked by himself. There was no two-way communications. In my class, I don't want students to just sit and listen, but you should start to ask me. Today, Cikgu Sean, you must understand better. I think you be realizing that student university now with their iPad, with their handphone. Of course, everyone got handphones, and with
yes.
their laptops. Okay, all the access to internet is accessible all the time, 24 hours. So they can ask anything that's to test your lecturer. But the things that differentiate it, the things that differentiate us the most is experience, knowledge, the skill that we have that is not written in the internet by itself. So this thing, when I saw the student getting improved in their studies and they become excellent, and we have good compliment from the administrators, that give me a lot of boost, a lot of motivation, that inspire me to do more and more and more. So when I joined Parents and Teacher Associations, my principal, Puan Hajar Rubaya, former principal, she asked me, Dr. Basha, why don't you go and take Google Certificate Level 1, Level 2, Trainer, as well as Innovator? I said, oh, I don't think I have time to do that. But she said, you should try. If you have deep passions to it, because the four important criteria here is time, discipline, passion, and patience. You see, if you have these four important criteria in your life, in yourself, definitely you can do it. Nothing is impossible. The word impossible, if you separate it, because become I'm possible.
Well, yes.
So you take a shot.
Yeah, all right. So now, since you are quite actively involved in improving uh, your community of parents in their children technology skill, right? Can you tell us some of your initiative or program that you have spearheaded achieve, in achieving this goal in your own community of Paya Rumput that
Oh,
you
there's a
don't
lot
mind?
of things I've done.
Uh,
In my early journey, what I've done is firstly, I transform the Parents and Teacher Association by itself
mhm,
from documentation that in on paper to become paperless.
mm,
Really 99% paperless. 1% only the check only design, or just a
uh-huh,
small form only design. Others of it is paperless. So how do you make it become a reality? I change it to when we start to use Microsoft OneNote, we start to use a lot where we integrate Microsoft application and Google application, integrate it all together. Okay, the core business here is Microsoft OneNote. Everything become digitalized. So let's say for example that I want to present some things. So not necessarily I'm going to use PowerPoint, not necessarily I'm going to Google Slides. I put everything in the OneNote. So that things that the I can see the beauty in this office is when we want to put a notes inside there, we want
mhm,
to keep all the history, we want to put all the videos, documentation, everything in one single application they call Microsoft OneNote.
mhm,
And the success is when I saw it that when the auditors from um, from the district education department came to our school and then they asked me, why is the file? I said, we don't use any physical file. We use Microsoft OneNote, all digital. We just give a link to them. At the same time, when we present it on the screen, on TV, very big TV, and they're
mhm,
really impressed. How do you manage to do that? I said, yeah, due to all a lot of cooperation, a lot of deep inspired inspirations and interest of the teachers to learn it and make our job very much easier. That's number one. Number two, we have also students that we set up um, division called the brigade, digital brigade. I'm not sure whether this thing you have it in your school. This is the brigade where all these students been exposed to the usage of laptops and Chromebook. Yeah. So whenever we have an event, let's say for example that the parents come to the school
mhm,
or any teach where we have workshops, digital workshop or whatever. So we ask the student to sit in front with a few laptops over there, a few students, and take the attendance, handling all this registration process. These give a good experience to them. Okay, from that experience, they improve their skill, improve their knowledge. Because without this kind of experience, we expect them to be good in in literacy in digital is going to be very much difficult or impossible. That's one thing. Number three is I can see the success whenever that sometimes not all teachers is quite deep understanding and interest in using computers, using Google application and Microsoft. Due to my interest and have some kind of knowledge also, I make short presentations to them. I give them a lot of motivations to them. I teach I teach them how to know how to do all this Google application, also and Microsoft applications to them. So the success from there, I see that this side the school from nowhere, from nobody knows about this school, become very well known during the period and become the chairman.
mhm.
Take a
Oh,
shot.
all right. So, Dr. Basha, um, from that point onwards, I'm quite curious. At the beginning of everything that you have done, that involve parents, everything, right? Do any step back, or do you have any challenges from both teachers and parents that go against you, and how you are able to manage this kind of sounds or noises that uh, sort of try to pull you down, pull the whole school down towards this direction. How you, uh, because you are quite active, right? You are quite active in involving all the parents, I believe. So how do you deal with that, and how would you like to encourage those listeners who are parents that also facing this kind of problem, but they are having the heart to help their on children's school to move forward to the direction that you are for your school, for your child. Yeah. So doctor.
Yeah, it's very common. No matter wherever you are, in whatever organization you are, whatever you do, you can't make everyone happy.
True.
Not 100% will be agree for what you're doing right now. Of course, there are a lot of some kind of resistance that you're going to face. Let's say, for example, in 2018, December of 2018, when we start, and I talked to the school principal, Puan Hadia Rubaya, I think for next year intake, Form 1, whereby all the parents who want to register their children do not use any pen or papers at all. We're going to use QR code. We're going to use handphones. We're going to use laptop. At the first time when we start this thing, of course, we have a manual to give to them. And also we have the IT brigade that our beloved children's, together with the laptops that help them in the registration process. Of course, in the beginning, that some of them might be saying that I don't have any knowledge in using computer. They are computer illiteracy, we call. They don't know how to use it all. I said, never mind, no problems. We have student here, we have teacher on the other side, they can help you in the registration process. And gradually, at first when they have some kind to give some kind of resistance, then they have to follow with the flow. You see now, of course, like what I said just now, let's say if they try to be resistant, I've told them, if you do not start it, you will stay there forever. If you don't ask, the answer will always be no. If you don't step forward, you always be at the same place. So that's from there on. So it's kind of like sometimes you have to use a little bit of inverted forcing to them also. That's one thing. As long they don't raise up the issue, as long they don't then voice up all the satisfaction, dissatisfaction, whatsoever, so you can continue with a job. I said, I told them, and I explained to these parents, not all, most of them are supporting my work in digital, to make the IT literacy among parents and teachers to be successful, improve. I told them that I've done nothing wrong. I tried to bring up this school to another level. Why you should stay like 10, 20 years behind? So must have a positive thinking. So another thing, Cikgu Sean, I just like a politician already. So I call all the parents. I give a talk to them. I told them, if you don't like me, you can bring me down and you can take my place. If you think that you cannot take my place, okay, please don't disturb me and please follow with me. So can I have a full support? And I have 100% support in Pairumpu. I think already asked them, you are the people who invited me. You are the people who appointed me as a
True.
chairman.
True.
I never ever fill up any application form.
True.
It's okay. You know the kind of job. I'm not the assemblyman, I'm not the politician. I'm just a parent. When you join Parents and Teacher Association as a chairman, you don't get any salary. Instead of getting a money, you take up your own pocket money, your hard-earned money for Parents and Teacher Association. You just take up my time, you take up my money, you take up my annual leave, okay, you take up all my free time. Of course, my annual leave I have to give it to them because
True.
sometimes you see if any occasions, any workshops, I have to take leave. Right. And you know that I'm a very busy person.
True.
What do I get in return? What do you get in return, Cikgu Sean, if you are the chairman of the Parent Teacher Association? You don't get anything. Tired. And then if you guys try to make my life miserable, hectic, and give me a lot of headache, might as well I step down and you please take over my position as a chairman.
True.
But isn't that from there on, all the people who before this give a lot of resistance change. They
Ooh.
change, They change. They support 100%. Okay, tell me here. I ask them? Can I have 100 support? Everybody raise their hands. Yes, Dr. Basha, we support you 100%. You see, this is very simple to that. If you think that you are better than me, please take over. I can do a lot of things outside there with other organizations. And it didn't stop there, Cikgu Sean. From that school, from Bayrumput, I also went to another school, another state of school also. I went to Sarawak, I went to Selangor, I went to Perak. I mean, all the teachers, due to the beauty of these internet services, I knew most of the teachers, almost all parts of Malaysia. They knew me, I knew them, but maybe we don't meet physically like what we experienced during the symposium in Singapore. Back to you.
All right. So I would like to give you a round of applause because because not many parents willing to go as you, doctor. So yeah, since you have going so far, parents have changes, right? So what impact have you seen on students when their parents are actively engaged in improving their technology skill in your school? Yeah, if you don't mind sharing that success story, if you have a few friends that you don't mind giving out their names that you see success there. Yeah.
Okay. Yes.
Right.
I have a few of success story, but I cannot remember their name because there's so many of them. You see, the thing is that I change. How did I manage to change? You see, like let's say for example that for Form 5 students, we divided into 3 categories. Okay, one is the excellent student, one is the medium one is the low one. So the mission of the school now to produce more straight E's that time. We want more people to get E's. Okay, and we managed to do that. See, we managed to do that. How do you do it? The motivation course, instead of getting the outsider as a motivator, I do it myself. Bring the teachers, bring the parent, bring the children, divided into 3 different categories. I give a talk to them, especially for the student who always absent from school, especially for the parents who always say no time for their children. I told them it's very simple. I give them like me myself an example. Cikgu Sean, I myself also studied almost 18 years. 6, is it 18 years? 6, then I got another 6, 7 plus 6, 13 years. Okay, 13 years. Okay, 13 years in school, another 5 years in university when doing my veterinary medicines. Okay, so during this time, if I didn't work hard today, most probably I won't be sitting down in my chair here online, go and talk together with you.
Yeah.
Of course, there's a time when I have up and down during my studies. My mom is a good motivator. My dad really support me so much. We are not from the wealthy family, right? But the only thing I talk to them is, if you work hard today, you'll be successful in the near future. You don't have to work so hard, have a very hard life in the near future. I think you believe me on that, Rebecca. Let's say, for example, you don't want to study. Okay, you don't want to study, you don't have any qualification. You don't have any certification. So your job scope will be very narrow. Firstly, you don't have education. Secondly, you don't have certification. When you want to find a job, what kind of job is suitable for you if you don't have anything at all? If you're an employee, you come for interview with me, Cikgu Sean, and you don't have any certifications, how am I supposed to take you? You don't come here with a degree of engineering. You don't come with degree of medical officer. Okay? Then how am I supposed to employ you?
True.
So I told the student right now, if you fail today, because fail means the first attempt in learning, FAIL, first attempt in learning. Nobody start from the top. Everyone start from zero to hero. Okay? And if, for example, they like this, and then from there on, when I do a lot of motivation course, then not from SMK Pairuput only, no. I went to few school as well. And their result is extremely good. when they listen to my talk. I'm not talk to bring myself up or boasting about it, but I'm not. But I really works very hard. Then this is all this the volunteer work that been done because I trust in God. I say, God, last time during my studies, I'm not performing well, but during the real exam, I perform well. This is really a miracle. Really, really miracle. There's one time that I fail all my subject. Then my mom said, no, this is not the real exam, it's just a mock exam. You work hard, I pray for you, and God will make sure that you'll be a success in the future. You know what happened during the exam? Everything's be so easy. So easy. The thing flow, I don't know, from nowhere. And at the time when I received my result, I got the flying colors. That's why today I managed to get my degree in Doctor of Veterinary Medicine. I managed to get my master's. I managed to pass my certified trainer. I managed to get my certified innovator. This is all the evidence. Okay, so I told the students, I told the parents, I told the teachers, the things that I've done today will give you a good example. If I can do what you all cannot do, the only thing you need some kind of time, you need a kind of patience, you need a kind of passion, and you need discipline. Take a shot.
All right, thank you. So just now you say qualification is important, right? So now, as a president for PTA, right? Could you discuss the importance of bridging the digital divide among parents? Because we know that in our society, not everyone are living in a bed of roses, which is very wealthy family, right? Most of them are coming from the average or even from the 40 line B40 uh, status, right? So how 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 you plan to divide these parents with you, and how does this benefit both student and the community as a whole? What?
Yes, it's very good question. Yes. Okay, sometimes we are in the environment whereby maybe 60% or 70% from the lower income group, lower income bracket. They can't afford to put food in the table. How you expect for them to buy all these kind of sophisticated gadgets, right? Okay, so I told them the thing is like this. Do you remember about the time when the failure of Nokia phones, right? Do you remember that last time when we went to take photo, we used Kodak, 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 and all these things seems to be disappear, right?
Yes.
So what's happening actually? Why this thing happen? So we learn from the fall of Nokia. Let's say, for example, that before I answer your question, I want to bring in you all to bring back the time that we start to use our first handphone, right? The Nokia phone. Now we have a very sophisticated phone, iPhone. We use Samsung, whatever. But at the time, we see that people don't want to use Nokia anymore. They want to use Samsung. They want to use iPhone. Why this kind of phone? Okay, the conclusion that what we can learn from this is the advantage you have yesterday will be replaced by the trends of tomorrow. You don't have to do anything wrong. As long as your competitors catch the wave and do it right, you can lose out and fail. That's number one. Number two, to change and improve yourself is giving yourself a second chance. To be forced by others to change is like being discarded. Those who refuse to learn and improve will definitely one day become redundant and not relevant to the industry. It's a fact. Okay, back to the parents. Let's say, for example, that they don't have they have a financial constraint, for example, to get all these. There shouldn't be any problem because in school we got everything for this particular group. Yes, we bought for them access to the computer labs. We got access for them to the computer laptop. We bought the cheap. Now everything is very cheap. Now you can buy Chromebook for them. Chromebook is about 200 ringgit, 100 plus also can get Chromebook ready, just to get access to their children, the student of the school. Back to the parents just now. I said the parents, dear sir, dear mothers, dear fathers, you don't have to worry. Just ask your children to come to the school. We help them to have access because we want them to be someone better in the near future, better than us, better than both of you as a parent. You see, yeah, Don't let whatever that deficiency that you have right now to become obstacle or restrict them to move further. You don't have the gadget, we provide them. You the internet, you come to the school, we provide them because we can't provide everybody in their house, but they can do it in the school, right? So let's just remember last time I talked about the experience, exposure, environment, all these things you have in our school. Okay, maybe you don't have at home, but as long as you give us support, send your kids to school, we can help your children to be access to it. In the near future, when their financial getting better, or maybe they get scholarship whatsoever, they can change their life by what they're doing today. So we must follow the trends, The trends in the near future, now we have AI, artificial intelligence. We have a lot of sophisticated devices. We have video conferencing, whereby all these things will never exist 10, 20 years ago. True or not, Cikgu Sean?
True,
Right? So
true.
I told the parents, you cannot hinder the development of the ICT. Give them exposure, give them chance, space and chance to your children for the better. Back to you.
All right, very good. So now, since we already discussed how they should go going forward, right? So I also believe that there are also PTS out there that they don't know what they should do. The role, I think, uh, most of them only sit on the chair and then just listen to whatever the school throw to them. But I think this is not what you are advocating for. So, in your experience, what role should PTS play in advocating for technology integration in school, and how they can effectively collaborate with educators and administrators? Right. I believe we should also ask this kind of question because I believe out of all many schools, we don't heard many PTS that really do their work. So what do you say, Doctor?
Yeah, because normally when a certain person been appointed as a chairman or president of the parent and teacher association, they don't undergo any kind of training. There was no induction training, tell them what they're supposed to do, what they're not supposed to do, and they
Mm-mm,
don't have the kind of line over there. They must have a diversions there, because your line until there. So you are not administrator. The chairman is not administrator. You're helping the teachers. You are the supporting group actually.
mm-mm,
Okay, back to achieving ambition and dreams. And we, as a parents and teacher association, this one time the government under our former Minister of Education, that Dr. Mazli, we have conventions for parents and teacher at Kuala Lumpur. That's a time where we change a lot of knowledge, ideas in our successful story. So I talked to them about my school, from no name to somebody named, okay, to be up there. After them, how the transformation of change, the wind of change happening in my school. I talked to them because in PIBG, in the or PTA or Parents Teacher Association, we are here to help the school, not to take over the job of the school principal or
mm-mm,
school administrator. So you must know where is our line there, is it not? So you must know your contingency is just stop there. When they need help, you must give them help. Okay. Let's say for example, how to make a good PIBG or Parents Teachers Associations. How to be make the school become excellent in their studies, excellent in their sports, excellent in their administrators, or whatsoever. It's just like when we take the example that we bring you to restaurant and you call for curry mee. You
mm-mm,
see? So when you go when you have a curry mee, sometimes you say this restaurant A, not so nice. Maybe I could say restaurant B, not so good, or maybe okay, but restaurant C seems to be very nice. The three one have a same menu as a curry mee, but the recipes is different. Why the restaurant number C is tastes better?
mm-mm,
Because they have some kind of secret recipe inside there. So this secret recipe must be shared together with others parent and teacher associations. So PTA cannot confine in certain areas only. They must go out. go to other school and learn. So that's how we improve. Cikgu Sean. So I
Mm-mm.
bring my teachers, I bring my committee to go to other school. We learn from, let's say, for example, SMK, SMK Sains, Sekolah Menengah Sains, Sekolah Menengah Sains under Cikgu Kamrul Zaman. From there, we learn a lot of things over there. You know, we learn that the school they have a lot of TV in the school. Last time we don't have television in class. You know,
True, true, true.
so firstly we bring the TV to the class. Okay, then we bring TV to our PIBG room. We are I think we are one of the school have PIBG room, PTA rooms, you know, for us to have discussion, for us to have meetings, and we put televisions there since we have ICT already over there. So another things that we don't have in our school, we learn from other school. Another then the other schools who come, they came also to our school. They learn something from our PIBG or from PTA. They learn something also from the school administrator. Like say, for example, that we have voucher, and then we have also a kind of reward to the student who always came to school early. So we give them badge, you know. Or this student, you know, like when you give them badge, they were so happy. Something like you, when you got the Google certified trainer, you got a badge there, the T there, also the innovator, you got the bulb there, something like that. This is all badge, make them so proud, you know, for them. That's one thing. Secondly, we give them breakfast. So all the parents support, give a lot of nasi lemak. They come early, you know, for nasi lemak, you know, because we don't want our children to become hungry in class. Of course, they cannot eat in class lah. They read during the recess time. But before the class started, we have this kind of things. And then, beside that also, we not just talk about successful in their academic. So we talk about their religious inside things. So we recite also prayer every Friday for the Muslim. Okay, they to recite the prayers, doa. So they learn a lot of things, so goods and bads about the habits as well. Okay, back to you.
All right. So I believe all of the listeners who are parents, I think you have an idea how to go forward after this. So now, doctor, I believe that this is also a challenge for you as a president in this school, especially those senior teachers or even those older parents, right? How do you encourage them to balance their traditional teaching method with technology as you promote, as you advocate in your school? I believe this is a challenge itself, and how you ensure, I repeat, how you ensure technology complement each other rather than replacing each other in the school that you are working on for this. Because I believe that there will be some argument where even parents or even teachers will say, "Oh, that all of our thing will be full of technology. What if something bad happen? Blackout everything on that day. How do you yeah? What's your solution for this? How do they balance?" Mm-mm.
Yeah, it's very good that what you are sharing just now. Your question is very challenging question actually, but like I mentioned just now, we can't make everyone happy,
Mm-mm.
right? Furthermore, when you talk about seniors person or teachers or administrators, they want their job easier. So they
True.
want it's very difficult for they accept the wind of change. So what the most important thing is the head, the school principal. If the head can communicate with you, can collaborate with you, the thing will be much easier for you. Then what we have done, we bring all these teachers to another school.
Mm-mm.
But that's the only way you want to see, to tell them, hey, in other school they have this, they have that, they have this, they have that, you know, the thing that we don't have in our school. Do you realize that? So how am I supposed to help our school if I don't have full cooperation?
Mm.
You know what's happening after they came back? They change, 100% change. They support everything because I do explain to them. It's not necessarily you have to do that. Let's say, for example, that you don't know how to use computers, right? You don't know how to use the application, right? I help you. I help you do it. If you cannot do it, you ask your subordinate to do it. You got your GKMP, you got all your young teachers. Let them do. You just direct them, guide them to do that, because not everyone have an expertise, have a passion in ICT. Sometimes they try and try also because they are, like their hard disk is very old one, very old hard disk one. You ask them to change, or they one cannot, like Dr. Basha. My brain is very small, So you ask me to absorb all this kind of thing, I say cannot also. But never mind. I tell them, as long as you're positive, you support us, you have also the young teachers to help you to do all this work in ICT. So firstly, it's like they say it's true also. So let's say for your school, your president or your chairman must take the proactive action. You see, he must start first. Then he communicate with the school head, the head of the school, the principal. Then both of them must find out how they want to improve their school. They must have also their timeline also, their points, what they're going to do now. And beside that also, we also get a help from communities like Telecom, Cellcom. Okay, they came to our school, and then Yes, YES, YTL Corporation. They sponsored few things, yes, that's a good thing. So this how the ICT things improve in my school during that time. So the most important thing, if you see what is the secret of it, firstly, the head must agree first. Okay, if the principal or the headmistress, headmaster not agree, it's very difficult to do things. You will stay wherever you are. Back to you.
All right. Just now you bring up a very important point, which I think most school not able to do it even now, right? How you guys able to? How you as a president and how you as a part of the community school community able to draw in those corporate because I believe those corporate companies got corporate social responsibility CSR. How you guys able to draw this kind of fund into your school, because it's not an easy task even for schools in Sarawak. So how you guys able to convince them to help, because I think that this is also part of one of the important steps to make all of this possible. Yeah. So what's your suggestion to all the listeners which are also part of the PTA association in their own school? What should they do?
Okay, the thing like this, Sean, it's a very good question. Actually, I if you remember that there was time I've been interviewed on air, with Astro Awani, and also I've been interviewed by reporters that were written in Harian Metro, if I'm not mistaken, right? And how the importance of PIBG to raise fund their account, okay? Because we need external funding. We can't be solely dependent on parents to pay for subscription, okay, PIBG subscription or PTA subscription, because they said it's not compulsory, right? So normally when talk about not compulsory, most of them they said, oh, no need to pay, okay, because everything need money nowadays.
True.
You want to buy something, you need money. You want to bring the children to go to others, to go for sport events, and then want to get the buses also have to pay, right?
True.
So where am I supposed to get this money? Back to you. So how do I manage to get these connections? Of course, there were a lot of strategies there. That's why the committee must be very strong and must have the kind of uh, ideas. They have to meet up in ideas how to bring sponsorship to the school. What did the sponsors company get? Because if you know how to use internet, you know that so many companies outside there, many companies, they have CSR,
True.
Yes, so find this company, get the right person, tell them who you are, but before you tell them who you are, you must impress them with your presentation. I told them, I, as a parent, I, as a chairman, I sit for the exam for Google. I managed to get this kind of Google certification, whereby make the PIBG of Python Board very, very unique, right? So I told them, with this kind of achievement might help also for them, also for their advertisement.
Oh.
You see, for example, we have Tesco also sponsored us, right? So
Mm-mm.
Tesco quite interested when seeing that I have a lot of passion towards the ICT. How did I bring up the Brigade ICT in my school? How did I bring up the teachers to the passion to the Google application? And they sponsored a lot of things during the event or any workshop in my school. That's one thing. Secondly, they donated a lot of books to our school to make our library more books for students to read and studies inside there. All right. And then another thing that is very very important is that I told them about my inspiration. I read a lot and I write a lot also to them. So we do a lot of presentations to them. So I presented to them about the success story about the children who are with financial constraint for the lower income bracket, but they score straight A's, with all whole heart and efforts to them to help these children. So we bring up the parents, and then another things we like I told them earlier that we try to make the school is the environmental friendly. Then I told them about another thing is like, let's say for example that the children late for school, we don't close the gate. Why you close the gate? If you close the gate, they turn back and they don't want to go to school, right? No, you open up the gate, let them enter. After that, you close the gate. After that, and then you know what to do with them already. So you do a lot of motivation to them, how important for them to be disciplined, why they must come with their uniform, school uniform, why they must come exactly at what time, because this is create them for a better employee, better employer, better businessman, better businesswoman, because everything must have a discipline. And one successful story is I managed to get Minister of Education to come to my school. Yes, and I managed to get also the the state head to come to my school. So when they come to my school, so I got a lot of benefit from there lah, because they want to see what do we have in our school. That's all. Number four is because last time also I also have my expertise. Sorry, my successful story in chess, a sportman. So I won a lot of tournament last time. So I organized the chess competition in my school at national level. From there, everyone know about SMK Pairupo. So when we have that event, so I went and see the assemblyman that time, YB Rosna. I went to see also a few YBs. They sponsored the event at the time. There's so many students coming to the school, and I wrote everything a lot, very detailed about what's so important is coming to SMK Parumpot, what they can gain from this chess competition. They can get new networking. They can get new friends. They can get new knowledge, new environments over there. That's how we improve. So for your school, Cikgu Sean, when you told me before that it's quite in the urban area, compare in a very secluded area. Okay, no internet, no nothing. I mean, bring outsiders to come to your school. Bring all the Google USA teachers come to your school. Tell them how hardship you do in your school. From there on, you already advertise your school indirectly. You advertise your school. I believe that after that, there's so many companies like Telecom, Cellcom, DG, they would love to have some kind of advertisement in your school. They would like to sponsor a lot of things in your school. So all depends on your parent teacher association, because your job as a teacher, so you go also got so many things to do. You need parent teacher association to support you. Back to you.
Yeah, once again, very, I need to acknowledge your effort, right, in bringing in at CSR. So round of applause again. Doctor, okay, now we go back to the more casual talk, right? Your role, right, as a doctor is undoubtedly demanding, which is, I mean, very busy. Can you share to us your secret in strategizing effective? If how do you let me put this question in a much more proper way? How can you manage your time well, where you can balance your your tugas hakiki, your main work as a doctor, and a PTA? Because for me, if you don't manage well, you will burn out, doctor. So what's your secret to those PTAs out there who also have some kind of demanding work just like yours, right? How do you balance this both of your career and your career as a PTA president? Yeah, and yeah, your commitment to this. Yeah, doctor.
Cikgu Sean, so
Mm-hmm.
in one word, it's very
Uh,
simple. Passion. Passion. I have very deep passions. If you have passions, nothing can stop you. Let's say, for example, right now, actually, what I'm doing right now, I cross domain, the domain from veterinary medicine to education. Let's say, for example, let's say we mirroring, ask you to do what I'm doing right now. You as a
mm-hmm.
teacher, and then you doing veterinary medicine. In other way around, you say, "Oh my God, how do I want to juggle with all this kind of works? My job as a teacher is not so easy. How you expect me to do also to learn about animals?" Okay, I want to tell you a story. You must not be afraid to try, and you must not afraid to make mistakes. Some people will enjoy your failure. Some even will pay to see it. They will not understand that with every failure, you will get the success of learning. The person who tries and makes mistake is better than the person who does not try, because the person who does not try has not even started making mistake. You got me? The
True.
person who tries and makes mistake is better than the person who does not try, because the person who does not try has not even started making mistake. We take
Mm-hmm.
example before the plane takes off.
Uh-uh.
Okay, the plane, like, for example, right? Last time we went to Singapore, right? We use a
Mm-mm.
plane. Of course, we cannot walk. Before
Yeah.
plane takes off, it first moves on the runway to gain momentum, because the plane does not rise instantly. It's not a balloon. So
Mm-mm.
it need to have a momentum. So there needs a runway. So the runway momentum is the key to the plane rising. You may seem to be working, but not rising. Your
Mm-mm.
work every day following your dreams, but your situation does not get any better. This is the truth, just like the plane. It's built for the sky. It's not a ship. This is a plane. So it's built for the sky. You are born for greatness. Everyone born for greatness. You may not be rising because you're on the runway, but you will rise when you have enough momentum. You don't have enough momentum, you still be there. So when you have gained enough momentum, not even the gravity can pull you down. In this case, gravity is someone who wants to see you fall, and people who discourage you. If you have been up before, you will understood you will have low moments also. A plane can't stay in the sky forever. It must land for servicing and refueling. Use
Mm-mm.
your lowest moment to reflect and become a better you. Meaning sometimes you feel also, right? Oh, why do I make this whole mistake? Okay, never mind, I'll improve. When you improve, you tell your student, last time I make this kind of mistake. So make sure you don't make this mistake. So you improve. So use your lowest moments to improve yourself. This will prepare you for the next flight in life. Yes, you were born for greatness, so hit the runway. Back to you, Cikgu Sean.
So does this mean that this advocate for technology never stop for you, doctor, for even after you retired? Is this
Yes, yes, because you see, not just retired, every day
uh,
so feel very tired.
all
We got so
right?
many things to do. We got the house chores, we got our children, we got our family, we got our job to do, and then we got also some kind of these education things to do also. So
Mm,
all the time is very well occupied. But if you really have deep passion, Passion, nothing can stop you, because you have very deep interest into it. So you love what you are doing. Nothing can stop you. Okay, don't tell you are very busy, because definitely, no matter how busy you are, you will find time for yourself. You see, time is a precious gift.
mm,
Okay, because you can make more time. Sorry, you can make more money, but you can make more time.
mm,
Okay, so meaning that Sometimes you know how much money you have, but you don't know how much time left for you.
Mm. True.
Your time is very short. So whatever you want to do in this world, you better do it now.
Mm.
Because when you pass already your time, you cannot turn back, you cannot come back to the whatever happened tomorrow. You cannot rectify it. This is not such thing or time travel.
Mm-mm.
So that's why I'm telling you like that. You can make more time, you can make more money, but you can make more time. Time is exactly 24 hours. So you must know how to manage it 24 hours with your passion, with whatever you want to do. If you cannot do this 24 hours, you do another 24 hours for the kind of things. So you must have a plan. So these IT things, they help me a lot of things, like Google Calendar, Google Keep, Microsoft OneNote. If not, it was impossible to do multitasking. How you want to remember so many things? How you can be a very good person? How you can be a very good speaker, good motivator, good veterinarian, and good in ICT? You can't remember so many formulas in Google Sheet and Excel as well,
True.
right? But if you keep doing it every day, every single day, everything will just at the fingertips. Back to you, Cikgu.
All right. So remember our listener passion, PASSION. Now, doctor, what advice do you have for other professions such as doctor who may want to get involved into education or community like what you experienced so far? And I believe you have good advice to those listener out there who also like other profession like lawyers. How what would be your advice to them for them and for their school, right, doctor?
I think that the words is very simple. If you can't beat them, join them. Okay? Instead of giving resistance to them, give a full support. Number two. Number three is start learning.
Mm.
Stop pestering. Okay?
Okay.
Because I also start from zero. Because when people give you chance, if you don't take a chance, you won't stand a chance, they say.
Mm-mm.
If you don't take a chance, you won't stay a chance. What come easy won't last long. What lasts long will not come easy. So my advice for them is they want to be somebody, they want to achieve the what I'm achieving today, they need to have a positive thinking.
Mm.
Must do not stop learning. So when positive thinking, keep the information flow inside you and keep delivering also back to the community. So for what for my summary is just like Google missions lah. The Google mission statement is to organize the world information and make it universal, accessible, and useful for everyone. This is our missions in Google, right? So from there, I learned that the learning process shouldn't stop, no matter whenever you reach your retirement age as well. So when you reach certain age, you become very senior, you will full of knowledge and skill with you. You should deliver it back to the younger generations, and from there on, sir, the knowledge that you're giving to them we're going to disseminate to all parts of the world, all parts of the country, all parts of the regions, and everyone will start remembering you. Remember last time when I talked about the importance of the educations, the 6 steps before you reach the reputation? When you have education, then you have examination. When you pass your exam, you got qualifications. Once you got qualification, you got certification. Once you have certification, you have received recognition. And lastly, you have reputations. Take a shot.
All right. So thank you, doctor, for
Yeah,
joining this podcast.
yeah,
Yeah, I hope that you are enjoying the whole experience with Champion Podcast.
yeah.
Now, doctor, what is your let me put it this way. Uh, what is your hope for our education, especially in Malaysia? I believe that you also heard a lot from teachers, but we rarely heard this kind of hope from our PTA's president, especially like you. What is your hope for our country's education? I think this is a voice that we should also heard. Our listeners should also know what's your hope for the country, especially in the education aspect. Yeah, doctor.
I hope for a better future for our children in the near future, whereby that our children we just not have a knowledge, just not have the skills, but they so know about how to respect their elderly as well. Because now the challenges right now is our children, especially in Z generation, in Alpha generation, they use iPad as early as 2 years old. They learn a lot of things from YouTube. They learn a lot of things in the near future. Maybe they learn from AI, artificial intelligence. So, as a parent, as a senior, as a leader, we like to advise the other senior, the other parents, and the other leaders also. We should collaborate together to ensure that our young generations today will be guided properly and have a very good education and respect to their elderly in the near future. Because we don't want some, because when the way that we brought up last time, whenever we have certain issue, we like to complain. Why should we complain? Instead of complain, why don't we find ways for the problem and get a solution to it? So there's no wrong and true in this kind of answer. Sometimes when you have a problems, okay. So my hope in the near future is that we have a better generations, energetic, futuristics, and also very well versed in their knowledge. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Doctor. So that's all for us from Champion Podcast. This is episode 3 with Dr. Bashar. Right. That's all. Bye-bye.
Bye. See you.